everyone, this is Yael, and I'm here with the weekly message of the Divine Masculine for his beloved for the week of April 24 to May 1st. Okay, so as always, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them, and let's get to the message. At the bottom of the deck, though, we have these cards. This is Seven of Swords, and here in this card we see this soldier. He's been seen in the camp of the enemy, and so that's why all these swords are being thrown at him. Okay, so and then we have the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords here is sort of trying to broker peace between two warring parties. Okay, finding a happy compromise between the two while being fair, being rational. And then we have the Five of Wands. And here we see this man using his wands to fend off belligerent squirrels. And then the Six of Coins, which is kind of an ambivalent card, because here you see there's this man collecting money from this pauper, but only to give it to his master. So it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then we have the Three of Coins, which for me signifies twin flames and the third energy that they're supposed to generate, but it's in reverse. And here, also the Lover's card is reversed. So basically, this reading talks about the energy of the situation of the Divine Masculines that are still in karmic situations. Why do I say that? Because here, he's not yet behind, he is behind enemy lines. He's in the camp of the enemy still. And the Divine Masculine is still trying to wriggle his way out of that. And he's been spotted. And that's why, well, actually, this card, see, that's why this resulted in lots of arguments, discussions, debates, pitting one interest, the karmic's interests, against what he wants to do. And of course he wants this to be resolved, again, with a happy compromise. But this is the situation. There are demands, and some demands are not just. He feels that. So that's a situation that he's in. That's why these two are still in reverse. So apparently this message is for that segment of the Divine Masculines that are still in separation with their beloved counterparts, because they're still in karmic relationships. Now let's get on to the message. The first card we have here is the Ten of Cups. And although in other decks that signifies great happiness and contentment, in this particular deck, here, look, the Ten of Cups, there's an aspect of showmanship. You see here the curtains of the theater, and this person is just showing the cups. But if you look at his face, it's just something that he's doing by rote. It's like when you're an actor on stage in live theater, and it's your 100th performance. But there's a sense of tiredness, of weariness, of doing the same thing over and over again, just for show. So that pertains to those who are still in karmic situations. Okay? And the next card that we have is the Five of Coins. And this relates, you see, this wealthy man, it's sort of like he's taken these two children under his wing. One is handicapped, the other one is a woman. And in those times, women were not that empowered. They were sort of like second-class citizens. They weren't on the same standing as men. So one had to have a sponsor, a benefactor. One had to be, they were considered wards of their husband, or their, so in any case, what this is saying is that either he's in a situation where he still needs to take care of those he feels he is responsible for, but cannot take care of themselves as of yet. Either that, or if he hasn't still gotten to the part wherein he's enlightened, he has shed ego, because this card, there is a bit of ego attached to this wealthy person taking these children under his wing. There is a flavor there that it's so that other people will applaud him for doing, in this case, such charitable work. But of course, if your twin has children, it goes beyond that. But still, it has something to do with what other people will think about him or will say about him. Okay, and the next card we have is the Nine of Coins. And here, we have this knight. He's looking at his skewer of coins there. He has material provisions, but yet he's looking at it wistfully, because he realizes that something is lacking. Okay, and we'll pick clarifying cards later on, and you can see here that despite, let's say that the Nine of Coins translates to the comforts of home, what he is familiar with, that his needs are being taken care of and all that by, yes, the karmic and all that. This is realizing that that's not enough, because he has a soul calling to be with the other half of his soul. So again, that's also another way that Spirit urges the Divine Masculine to wake up to the reality of their situation. And here we have the Chariot card, and this is movement. But there are two sides of the coin here, because you see the charioteer. These horses are rather unwieldy, okay? So this indicates the need for balance and getting in with the flow. When we say getting in with the flow, it's trusting the universe to bring you to a place that, in the bigger picture, let's say that's in your divine blueprint. In the case of twin flames, you already know what that is. It's union, okay? First in 5D, then in 3D. However, depending on how skillful this charioteer balances these two horses, then that would determine whether he's able to move forward, or he's able to, or he is going to just zigzag his way through, not knowing really where to go. Because, you see, it's like driving. When you're just learning how to drive. You're very conscious of what the brake does, what the gas pedal does, and you know how to shift, especially if you're driving a manual car. Okay, there has to be some footwork involved there, coordination. But once you're a more seasoned driver, you get into the flow that it's almost automatic, and you're able to skillfully maneuver the car, whether it's, I don't know, parallel parking, which a lot of people find challenging, or, you know, something like that, or maneuvering your way through traffic. I don't know if you guys have, it's very rare that you guys have traffic. It's usually rush hour. But if you live in the Asian countries, it's part of the way of life. And it's defensive driving, so you really have to know how to maneuver your car. But even so, my point is that you get into this flow of things. And when this driver gets into the flow, and he doesn't have tension, because he's relaxed in himself, the more he can maneuver these animals, these horses. The same is true when you're handling dogs or any other kind of animal, because they respond to energy. So it's the energy that the animals read. So if you're scared of them, no matter how much you show that, say, sit, stay there, stand, they won't respond to you. So the same command given by two different people will have different effects, regardless of the fact if the person giving the command is a stranger to the animal. Because remember, animals, they don't have egos, they don't have pride. They can read energy very, very well. So, as regards the divine masculine, that's what he's saying, that he's in the middle of trying to wrestle control of the situation, getting it into balance, because he wants to move forward. He already knows that he's dissatisfied with his current situation. And the next card we have is the Queen of Coins. So, that answers the questions, what is he moving towards? Maybe he's bumbling on his way towards the divine feminine. Maybe he's a bit clumsy. It depends on how he navigates this. But number one, he's moving towards the divine feminine. Because again, the divine feminine in a number of our readings, she's been depicted as the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Wands, but nonetheless a queen. And the Queen of Coins here in this particular picture, and it's sort of funny because this is the mistress and the servant. And you know, I know some of you are in contact but are not yet in separation. Well, technically, if we're strict on semantics, that's what the rest of the world would call someone you're not, if you are in a situation with someone you're not married to, that would be the mistress. But he wants to move forward to offer himself, his services, his time, his attention to somebody he adores, he adulates. Okay, so, excuse me. Let's pick clarifying cards for these. Okay, for the Ten of Cups. Okay, see? This is beauty, and this is the show. So, it's just some of those who are still trapped in that situation, they're doing the motions. Because it's what others perceive to be proper, right, beautiful. It doesn't jar other people's perception of these 10 cups that are on the stage. For the Five of Coins, Okay. This is intelligence, using smarts, learning. So, in moving forward, he's trying to find a way how to take care of these children, or the fruits, the things that resulted out of his union with the karmic. Whether that be, it doesn't have to be necessarily children, okay? Because this could pertain to joint property, things they own in common, all those things. So he's using strategy to find a way to still take care of those things, because part of them belongs to him, so that nothing will be said of him. And for the 9 of Coins, okay, this is messages. So some of you may be receiving messages, are feelers, okay? Because sometimes the Divine Masculine, especially if there's still blockages in his throat chakra, they will send feelers first. They won't come out with it, given the history between the two of you. So these are feelers, messages, pointing to how he is dissatisfied with his current circumstances as well. And the Chariot, okay, see here, this is a change, a transition. So from being dissatisfied with the current situation he's in with the karmic, here, there is a transition that is going on, which is this moving energy. From the moon being obscured, his light being obscured, to the sun, where he is shining directly, brightly. And again, this transition, it depends on how he manages this. If he is able to go in with the flow and bring these energies into balance. And for the Queen of Coins, see here, this is the countryside, family, where you can relax. And all these stresses, because he's in a very stressful situation right now with the karmics. That's why this is his dream, his goal, his aspiration, to be at home with the woman he loves, with the woman he cherishes. And he's in a very stressful situation right now, because you see here, he's still behind enemy lines, still trying to find his way to the border, so to speak, where he is safe, where there is a happy compromise. But still, even in his search for this, trying to get to this place wherein they agree to separate amicably or whatever, there's still arguments that are to be made. Division of property. And sometimes he feels that, you know, he's being milked. So, of course, this reading applies to a particular segment of the Divine Masculine. Whenever I do these readings, these messages, I ask to give the messages for those who need it, okay? So, this will apply to a certain segment of the situation. And if you haven't watched the Twin Flame weekly reading, I suggest that you do, okay? Because this week is a very important prep week leading up to Beltane on the 1st of May, where a Stargate will open. And Beltane celebrates manifestation using fire and fertility. It is particularly important for twin flames because it is sort of this first mission. It's It's nearing the finish line, especially for blue rays. Okay, so if you would like to assist your divine masculine to manifest this, to help him get through these energies, do check out the Ra-Sheeba healing sessions that I offer. This is the last week that video is going to be up, because I was called to offer this service during this this period up to Beltane, to help twins prepare, especially those who belong to the first wave. So I highly suggest the advanced Ra-Sheeba, because that includes activating divine light and divine union, symbols for divine union, walking in love and truth. And there, so for those divine feminines whose divine masculines are still in this situation, this message is just a sort of a status report on where they're at in trying to disengage, finish those karmic contracts, declare those karmic contracts finished, so that he can move unimpeded towards his beloved. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. Bye.